The Mazda 787B won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1991. It was the first Japanese car to win Le Mans. This machine used a rotary engine that screamed to 9,000 RPM. And then, racing officials banned it immediately. The car never got to defend its championship because it was too different, too unconventional, too Japanese. This is the story of how the 787B conquered Le Mans and why it got killed for winning. The Rotary Revolution. Let's start with what made this car special, the rotary engine. It didn't use a traditional piston engine like every other Le Mans car. The 787B used a four-rotor Wankel engine designated the R26B. This engine made it completely unique. How does a rotary engine work? This rotary uses triangular rotors that spin inside oval housings. No pistons, no connecting rods, no camshafts. The engine is mechanically simpler than piston engines, with fewer moving parts. The R26B has just 3 main moving parts per rotor. This simplicity made it incredibly reliable. The four-rotor engine displaced 2.6 liters. That sounds small compared to the 3.5-liter V10s and V12s it competed against. But the 787B made 700 horsepower. The power-to-displacement ratio was astronomical. This Mazda proved rotaries could compete with traditional engines. But here's what made it legendary: the sound. It doesn't sound like any other race car. The 787B screams. That rotary scream is one of the most distinctive sounds in motorsports history. It sounds like a banshee, a howl that builds to 9,000 RPM and makes your chest vibrate. Listen to it once and you'll never forget that sound. The fuel efficiency was incredible. Rotary engines typically drink fuel, but Mazda optimized this car for endurance racing. It could run longer stints than competitors. The machine needed fewer pit stops, which meant more time on track going fast. The reliability was the secret weapon. Le Mans is 24 hours of punishment. Cars break constantly, engines fail, transmissions explode. But the 787B? It was bulletproof. That simple rotary design meant fewer things could go wrong. The car just kept running while European supercars broke down. The 1991 Le Mans victory. June 1991, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The 787B arrived painted in orange and green renowned livery. It looked like no other race car. This Mazda stood out visually and mechanically in a field of traditional piston-powered prototypes. The favorites were clear: Jaguar, Mercedes, Porsche. These European manufacturers dominated Le Mans. The 787B was an underdog. It was Japanese. The car used an unconventional engine. Nobody expected it to win. This machine was just there to compete and prove rotary technology. But the car had drivers who believed. Johnny Herbert, Volker Weidler, and Bertrand Gachot piloted it. These drivers understood that the 787B had a chance if it could just survive. Le Mans rewards reliability more than raw speed. The race started and the strategy played out perfectly. The car wasn't the fastest on track, but it was consistent. Lap after lap, it maintained pace. The 787B didn't make mistakes. It didn't break down while European prototypes started retiring. The Jaguar XJR12s were faster. This Mazda couldn't match Jaguar's straight-line speed, but the Jaguars started having problems. Engines failing, electronics failing. One by one, the favorites retired. The 787B kept running. It moved up through the field simply by surviving. By Sunday morning, the car was leading. It had outlasted everyone. The reliability strategy worked perfectly. That rotary engine just kept spinning, kept screaming, kept pushing around Circuit de la Sarthe. Johnny Herbert brought it across the finish line in first place. The 787B won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It became the first and only rotary-powered car to win Le Mans, the first Japanese car to win Le Mans overall. This machine made history. It proved that unconventional engineering could triumph at motorsport's most prestigious race. The celebration was incredible. Mazda had finally done it. The victory validated decades of rotary development. The car showed the world that Japanese engineering could compete and beat European manufacturers at their own game. The immediate ban. Here's where the story turns dark. After the victory, racing officials changed the rules. For 1992, the regulations changed to only allow 3.5-liter engines. The rotary was too large under the new formula. The 787B was effectively banned from defending its championship. Was this ban specifically targeting this car? Officials claim the rules changes were planned before 1991. The victory didn't cause the ban, officials said. The new regulations were about aligning Le Mans prototype engine specs to Formula One specs. This Mazda just got caught in that change. But enthusiasts don't believe that story. The timing was too convenient. The 787B wins Le Mans, and suddenly it can't compete anymore? The rules change looked like European manufacturers protecting their territory. This car was too different, too unconventional, too Japanese. The conspiracy goes deeper. Rotary engines have always been controversial in racing. This wasn't the first rotary to face regulatory discrimination. It followed a pattern where rotaries succeed, then rules change to ban them. The 787B became the most famous example of this pattern. Mazda protested. The car deserved the chance to defend its championship. It proved rotaries could win. But the rules were final. This machine was finished in top-level prototype racing. It had won Le Mans, but would never race there again in the top category. The legacy was frozen in 1991. It would forever be remembered as the rotary that won Le Mans once, then disappeared. The 787B became a what-if story. What if it had been allowed to continue racing? What if this Mazda had multiple years to develop and improve? We'll never know because it was banned. The 787B in gaming and culture. The car found immortality in another place, Gran Turismo. The 787B is one of the most iconic cars in GT7 and every previous Gran Turismo game. It's the rotary dream car. Players spend hours grinding to afford it in-game. This machine represents Japanese engineering excellence. In GT7, it's incredible. The car handles beautifully, sounds amazing, and performs like the legend it is. It dominates Group C races in GT7. Players who drive the 787B understand why racing officials feared this car. It's just better than its competition. That sound in Gran Turismo? Polyphony Digital recorded the actual car to get the rotary screen perfect. When you rev it in GT7, that's the real sound. The audio in Gran Turismo introduced millions of players to the greatest sounding race car ever built. The car lives on through Mazda's Heritage program. Mazda still runs it at demonstration events. It appears at Goodwood Festival of Speed, at classic Le Mans reunions, and at Japanese motorsport celebrations. Every time the 787B runs, people gather to hear that scream. The machine draws crowds decades after its competition ban. The rotary engine technology influenced everything Mazda built afterwards. The RX-7 and RX-8 carried forward rotary development. The Mazda 787B lives on in Gran Turismo, in demonstration runs, and in the hearts of rotary enthusiasts worldwide. It's proof that different can be better. The car is the rotary legend that won Le Mans, and nothing, not even a ban, can take that away.